Now, a really important week in the calendar. It is Mental Health Awareness Week this week, and according to new research, 60% of people struggling with their mental health do not tell anyone about it.
OK, well, let's talk about this now and the stigmas around mental health. Psychiatrist Dr. Andres Fonseca joins us now. Doctor, thank you very much indeed.
Thank you for having me.
What is mental health? Because, not to demean it in any way, but honestly, if you went back 5 years, went back 7, 8, 9, 10 years, hardly anybody talked about it. Now we're all talking about it. Do we know what to do with it? Are we resourced enough to deal with it?
Well, I mean, mental health is health, you know. It's part of health, and I trained as a doctor initially. I was a GP for quite a few years, couple of years. And actually one of the things that I saw in my practice is that a large chunk of the people that were coming to see me had mental health problems, and that's what sort of started my interest.
What is a mental health problem?
Well, it could present itself in many different ways. For example, you may have depression is a common presentation of anxiety. So, you know, depression characterized by low mood, poor energy, demotivation, and sometimes you have thoughts about harming yourself, and that can be quite dangerous. In anxiety, you tend to be worried about certain situations. It could be everything around you that could be overwhelming for you. And it results in avoiding situations, and it results in an inability to sort of do the things that you normally want to do. So it's
when
powerful.
you talk about physical health, people talk about the worried well and those sort of time wasters that come in and use up doctors' time. Is that also the case in mental health? Are you seeing sort of proliferation of people, very minor mental health problems, who perhaps are feeling sad about something and attribute the label? And this isn't to diminish the issue at all of mental health, but I wonder if in it becoming more talked about and us being more aware of it, we're also absorbing at the bottom a sort of drag of people sort of using it, latching onto it a little bit.
I don't know. I think, as you said at the beginning, is there's a huge percentage of people that do experience quite serious problems that actually don't tell anybody about it. So, if anything, you might think is the opposite.
Okay.
That we're really struggling to see it. And for example, if you look at what the World Health Organization says about how many days are lost from work.
See, 16% of all days lost are due to mental health problems.
That's right.
But this is where we come into this whole complex problem of understanding what it is, how it manifests itself, and a lot of people don't have sympathy for it because, you know, if I say to you I have a sore throat, you can say open up and look at a torch and you can see that my throat's sore, whatever. But if I say to you, oh, it's my mental health doctor, I mean, it's harder to prove there's something wrong with you, isn't it?
That's right, and actually that's probably one of the things that prevents people from actually seeking help. You know, it's like, I can't demonstrate it to you, I can't do something about it, I can't show you something to prove it. So in that sort of, because you're having these problems, so it's going to affect your self-esteem, it's going to affect your confidence in yourself. So, you know, because those are the symptoms of the condition, that you're going to actually struggle to believe in yourself, to actually tell the doctor about these things. And
can we see a report today where some huge amount of 40% of doctors say, look, we're not qualified, GPs, we're not qualified to deal with this, and this has landed on our doorstep. We've got 15 minutes to see a patient, and then we're finding out there's a mental health problem here as well. Is there anything, as we start this week, that we can all do for ourselves to protect ourselves?
I think it's important to actually, first of all, notice it. And if you do notice that you're having symptoms, that you do actually seek help. And I know what you're saying about GPs. There's a lot of GPs that are quite well prepared. But the problem is actually that there's a lot of pressure on them from all sorts of places. And actually, we've been just through a pandemic. It's been really difficult on them. And actually, the pandemic has affected us physically, but it also has affected our mental health. It does increase those problems. So it's about sort of, you know, realizing that you do have a problem and actually seeking help. And that's why it's sort of we've started this campaign about I Get Help, to try and get people to sort of recognise this.
I just want to draw attention to the fact that it is men who particularly are not coming forward and are the highest risk, aren't they, category particularly of suicides, and the sort of worst target age for that, 40 to 60-year-olds? Yes.
So it's middle-aged men in particular that are most at risk, you know, disproportionately at risk, and actually is one of the main causes of death for men, and, you know, in that age, you know, unfortunately. So it's as serious as that. So you might say we struggle to recognise it, but it's actually a big killer.
Yeah.
Well, look that up. I Get Help campaign that the doctor was referring to there. Dr. Fonseca, thank you very much indeed. At this, the start of Mental Health Awareness Week. Thank you very much indeed.
Thank you. And of course, the key in all of this is always not to struggle in silence. Do seek out help. And you can always email us as well. We can always direct you to help as well. Do that by emailing gbviews@gbnews.uk.
Yeah, you know, and what the doctor was referring to there, and he talks about anxiety. And we know doing news, the pandemic brought out huge anxiety with people. The war in Ukraine has brought out huge anxiety with people as well. And then people have to face the cost of living crisis going on now as well.
Possible recession.
There is a lot to worry about. There's a lot to drag you down. So you're not alone. And remember that campaign, I Get Help, encouraging people to talk openly about their mental health.